Okay, so a little hiccup. I think the reason why the last live nobody really showed up is because, excuse me, is because I put it as unlisted. So, and now I'm coughing. I wasn't coughing before. Oh well. So I was talking to myself for 22 minutes, the last live. Then I figured out, nobody showed up because it was unlisted. Just great. Oh well, I suggest you watch that if you can, because I mentioned a lot about how I feel and what I'm going to take the channel next and other type of videos that I'm thinking about doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing now and how I feel about the past. Whoops, swipe that up. So like I said in the last one, I'll just wait a little bit till people come in. I see one person's in. But whenever you come in, just let me know you're here, or if you have any questions, I got my journal. And I'll dab into a little bit of what I was talking about before. I'm glad I have the battery charger on this thing, like right here, mobile battery charger. So this thing doesn't die, but because I already did 22 minutes already, just talking to myself pretty much. I kind of only want to do 20 minutes here. So we'll see how things go. I wonder how everybody's doing in Florida. It wasn't easy. Hi, Wayne. They're doing really well. They grew about maybe 10 feet each. You trim them to only about 3 or 4. Usually when people are growing grapes, you'll see them growing like 20 grapes vines from one plant. You want 1 and 2. That's it. Maybe 3. The more vines you have growing from a grape plant, the less production you're gonna have. That's why, like here in Central California, pretty much the grape central of the world. I don't know how many. Almonds is 90% of all almonds are grown here. Used to be 90% of all grapes and raisins were grown here or made here. And if you go by all these thousands, millions of acres of farms of just grapes, you'll see a grape every like 3 feet or 4 feet, and it has like that much of a vine on it on each side, just so it could have 2 or 3 huge clusters, like clusters the size of your torso. And then they go through and they cut those in 2 or 3 or 4 pieces and sell it to all of you. That's how they do it. But some clusters you'll have to pick up with 2 people. So that way you don't damage them. Two people have to get up and like on a stick and pick it up. The grape's right in the middle. Someone's here. The grape's here, and your hand is over here. You have to pick it up with 2 people. The grape clusters will be like 20 pounds, 15-pound grape clusters. So long summer. That's what it's the long summer in Zone 9B. And that not cold but cool winter that we have. That's why. If you guys don't know the Central Valley, we're sitting on an old ocean floor. If you dig about 10 feet deep, maybe 5 feet, you'll see clam shells, oyster shells. You know, you'll see not prehistoric, I shouldn't say that, but you'll see sea life deep down in the ground here in Central California. So that, you know, how many thousands or millions or hundreds of thousands of years of ocean floor, very fertile. You know, that's why the soil is so fertile here. One of the reasons. So like I said in the beginning, I already did a 22-minute live talking to myself and didn't realize that I set it up as unlisted. It's up now. I talk about a lot of cool stuff in it, but I could just talk about some of it. How I feel about the channel, where it's headed, how I felt about what I used to do in the past. But then again, if you're here, let me know any questions. I'll stick around for another 15 minutes at least. I have my notes here. Whoever's sticking around, I am still writing the book that I announced in April or March. I am still writing the book. I spoke about it in the last live by myself. I want to. I'm a disabled veteran, Army veteran, and mental health is a very big thing for me. And mental health is a big issue right now, and it will be till, unfortunately, probably for the next 20 to 100 years. I don't know, but it's getting worse and worse. I don't have to mention any examples. You all can guess how bad the mental health of humankind is getting, or amongst certain people. But those certain people are ruining a lot of people's lives. But when you search how to, help with depression, how to help with mental illness, how to cope with this and all that, you'll see three big things. You'll see exercise, eating right, whoops, and the last one is, man, I didn't mean for that to happen. The last one is gardening. Gardening or being outdoors. Hello, Organic Grow. I always like your thumbnail, by the way. Is that Jabba the Kaaba? Oh, you saw me with the flipping off? Is that Jabba the Kaaba, the thumbnail? The only reason why I don't grow that one, only reason why I don't grow it, I was this close. I was this close. That and mango. I heard Jabba the Kaaba takes forever to grow. I don't got time for that. I heard it takes forever. Like 10 years to maybe get a fruit off of it. So I don't need to waste time with that. Then again, I'm listening to people. I don't normally listen to people, but when people tell me it takes a long time, yeah, see a seedling 5 years. That's what I was gonna buy, a little seedling. I don't have time for that. I got a pluot I planted 2 years ago. It gave me probably 100 pounds of fruit in 2 years. I don't have time. And then it's not made for here, Jabba the Kaaba. I just wanted a tree that grows fruit off the branch, the trunk, basically. But the Flavor Grenade Pluot does that. Sorry if you're hearing a dog barking. It's my neighbor's dog. But the Flavor Grenade Pluot, the one that produced like 50 pounds to 75 pounds this year, Dapple Dandy did about 100 or 80. I have to upload a video on that. I have a new video on it right now. I'm gonna upload it probably in a few days here on the Dapple Dandy. But the Flavor Grenade Pluot grows on the trunk as well, right on the bark, kind of like Jabba the Kaaba. Never tasted Jabba the Kaaba. I heard that the skin isn't so edible. I heard it's thicker, but it's like a big grape. That's what I heard. But mango and Jabba the Kaaba is the one that's the ones I really want to grow. I always wanted to grow it. But I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time. Why grow something that you're going to stress over, Why? I have plenty of those. Pineapple, coffee tree, wasabi, my tamarillos that aren't that easy. Cherimoya, they're not easy. But I heard the other two we were mentioning were really tough. But once again, let me know if there's any questions. Put them up. Like I said, I am continuing with the book, but I'm focusing on mental illness in the book now. For veterans, my seedling mango just started flowering, 1.5 years old from. Oh, good. That's awesome. As long as it doesn't look like it's dying. A lot of tropicals I've noticed, or subtropical plants, when they start flowering for some odd reason, like my moringa, one of my moringas, started flowering and no other tree was flowering, it died. So I hope this isn't like a call to like, I think I'm gonna die. Let me open flowers up, spread my seed, so I can have offspring before I pass on. So I hope that's not the reason. I'm not trying to freak you out. I'm just letting you know, be aware. So if you see something wrong, change it up. Oh, okay, good. Just came out of winter. So you're southern hemisphere. I spoke about that in my other live that I mentioned before about me talking to myself for 22 minutes. I'll never make that mistake again. But this, okay, yeah, I mentioned that a lot of subscribers are from Brazil and Australia. Um, the Southern Hemisphere will start kicking in right now. Everybody's gonna be. I'm gonna get comments 3 o'clock in the morning from Brazil, Chile, a little bit of Africa, a lot from India, but India is year round, and Australia, a lot from Australia comments. And I wake up in the morning, I have like 20 comments to respond to. Yeah, but you guys are ready to go, huh? You guys will start spring pretty much October 1st, September 22nd. Really, you're probably your spring already started. You know, it's not that cold in Australia. I'm assuming. But your spring probably already started. But like I said, once again, wanting to change, going into each chapter and modifying some chapters on focusing on how gardening, as myself, a disabled veteran, has helped me with all the terrible ailments that came with the war, how it's helped me to move forward, how it helped me get my master's degree when the doctors told me it can't be done. You can't focus now, Moses. You're not. I wasn't hallucinating, but when I just got back, I wanted to go straight to my degree, and they would say, "Yeah, pretty much spring is here, but officially, okay, September. Okay, 20. I got it off by a day, but yeah, spring is here. Just start planting, as long as there's no late frost." But doctors telling me that I won't be able to focus in class. Doctors telling me that I won't be able to hold a job or start a business. I said I wanted to start YouTube so I could help people, and they're like, "No, we don't think so, Moses. You're not going to be able to handle that either." I said, "You want me to be a couch potato for the rest of my life?" I'm 25 at the time. I didn't start YouTubing till I was 29, I think, or 20 or 30. But they go, no, but they go, "What else are you gonna do, Moses? You saw a lot of stuff." Hi, Em, but I think it's Matt. I think I forgot. Excuse me if I'm wrong, though. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But a lot of them said I couldn't basically be anything. Psychologists, general GPs and stuff like that, nurse practitioners. They were really worried about me, and I said, "Why can't I be?" You know, I was straight A's. I was 4.1 actually, out of high school, and the garden saved me. That's the only thing. And the number one reason why? Number one, everybody goes, "Oh, because of the fresh fruit, you're getting healthy," or the fresh air, because your garden is full of leaves and grass and weeds even produce fresh oxygen. You know, it's fresh air, even if you live in a polluted area, relatively fresher. But I told them that plants don't talk back. Plants don't stab me in the back, unless they have thorns. Plants, you know, I don't have to call in sick. They won't talk behind my back. They won't laugh at me or something like that. I told them this, and they said, "Well, that's very good. We'll see how you do." And now they use me to tell other veterans about that are just giving up on life, pretty much. We're talking about even people that are suicidal. They're saying, "There's this guy," and now I'm getting subscribers that are veterans. There's this guy that we thought, with what he experienced in the war, wouldn't make it. You know, the statistics were against me. And like I said, I got my master's. They wanted me to go PhD, but I didn't see the point. I got a house. I got jobs. Started a company. Started a brand. Started YouTubing. They even told me I wouldn't be a good father figure. You know, I'm like, "Can you stop talking statistics and tell me, you know, about me?" And they're not, at the VA hospital. They're not that gray. They're more black and white. But regardless, I'm looking at my son eating right now. Today was 87 degrees. Yesterday was 84, low of 58. It's not hot. It's cool breeze. It's really nice and cool. Let's see. I have sapotes. White sapotes are still growing. Vernon. Passion fruit, like you see behind me, that the wall I created with the passion fruit vines. I forgot they sucker, but luckily these varieties don't sucker that much. I hate invasive plants. I'm gonna do a few new videos. One, if you could chime in, I already did a community question or survey about the B-roll. That's a video add-on you could say. That all came about. I hope I can taste white sapote off my own tree in a year for the first time. It's amazing. What variety do you have, Organic Grow, on the white sapote? I did a complete audit of my whole channel. We're talking all 850 videos. 850. Going through all my videos. The title, description. I didn't even have title, description, tags, and all this stuff. Going through and just what I've learned in the 3 years of doing this. Next month will be 3 years of YouTubing. Going through all of them and saying, okay, this is what I've learned. Let's change these now. And now those older videos are popping up now. They're getting suggested. That's good. That's probably why subscribers have gone up. But while looking at those older videos, I said, you know what? I did a horrible job. You can say, oh, Moses, everybody is not that great in the beginning. Everyone, I didn't change the way I did things for the first 500 videos. 500. Okay, we have YouTubers that have been doing it for 6 years that finally are getting to 500. In my first year, I did 455. That's what I said. Well, that's what I said about my old food trees. Can you remind me what I said that you're agreeing to? Because I tend to talk a lot. I don't remember what I said. But anyways, I looking through all my old videos and said that I need to up my game. What? Okay, now that's because you have awesome content. Oh yeah, I could have done it better. And old trees, gardening as well as yourself. You just said. Yeah, thank you. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But when I was going through my old videos, I'm saying, okay. When I'm with friends, they give me their camera to take photos. I love taking photos. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a lot of nice, in my opinion, really nice pictures that I take. They gave me the camera. Let Moses do the videotaping, But then when I came to YouTube, I did none of that. I just would talk, and I wouldn't even focus on my camera. My camera would be talking. I'm talking about this tree in front of me, but my camera's pointing that way. And I didn't even edit. I would just say, okay, oops, let me go back over here. I didn't even edit all that out, But I edited for others. And like I said in the other video, the other live I just did, I did it for my family. I did it for my son. Now my son and daughter. Daughter's coming next month, by the way. Yeah, wow. But I did it for my son and daughter, so it's just my son originally. That's why I did it, so he can watch the videos when he's older. Oh, that's how my dad did it. I'm gonna do it that way. And that's why I pumped out like crazy. You have to remember too, going into a little personal now, during that time, I wasn't given long to live. Yes, Organic Grow. I think everybody would agree. I wasn't given a long time to live. They told me that with the ailments I have received, my blood test, and so forth. I don't want to get too much into it, but I wasn't gonna have a long time to live. So I said, okay, what can I pass down? And I'm a funny person. Ego set aside, I'm an extremely funny person once you get to really know me. Quick-witted, charismatic. I can't share those things with my son if I'm dead. I can't say, this is how you become charismatic, son, in the video. but I could share gardening, and I was really good at gardening. Luckily, I'm still here, and they're showing, with my experience, deal with your own physicians, your own risk, blah blah blah, whatever legal mumbo jumbo that I'm supposed to add to this. What I'm eating in my garden cured my blood of the heavy metals that came from the shrapnel in my neck. I used to have high dosage of tungsten in my blood, where they told me I wouldn't have children. I had 5 miscarriages before my son was born. Not me, my wife. So yes, there's nothing. That's why I was so heartbroken when my Fuyu persimmon died. That's the first fruit tree my son picked off. Debating on if I'm gonna plant another one. I think I know why it died. One that the raccoons really ruined it. There was a pack of raccoons that tore it up. But I think the reason why, it's a forest tree. And in the forest is a lot of wood chips, a lot. There was a lot on here, but not too much. Not like the avocados. But in that location, there's a lot of troughs, or valleys, that water runs into that location. I think it got water rot over the years. And slowly the feeder roots died and died and died. That's what I think happened. So this year, I'll be, if I replant that tree, Fuyu persimmon, I'm gonna do a video on how I used to. I've done it before. How I just plant the tree right out of the pot and just put it on the ground, and then I mound up around it. I don't even dig it in the ground. Maybe a little bit just to keep it stable. That's it. Maybe 2-3 inches in the ground. The rest of the pot is above ground, and I mound around it, and that usually cures drainage issues. But yes, with the book again, I'm going through the chapters and thinking about how I can help mental health veterans with chapter by chapter. It's pretty much done. It's just I don't want to, and I don't know if I want to charge it for it anyways either, at least for the first 2 weeks. How are you guys liking the new B-roll thing? I mentioned in the last video where someone commented, which I agree with, and I knew it would be a comment like that about I love them, but just shorter. The first ones I got carried away because I got excited the old way I used to do videos. Love doing video production for friends and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I love it. Let me keep the whole song and let me just 120 frames per second, all of it, slow motion, all of it. But I knew it was too long. But I'm gonna do it sparingly. So here and there I'll do some B-roll about some close-ups and stuff like that, and add some music to it. The music comes from Epidemic Sound. It's what pretty much all YouTubers, like 90% of them, use epidemicsound.com. Not a sponsor. Let me know any questions if you guys have any questions. 2 new videos. I already took 3 videos today. 3 videos. I'm uploading less because one, I'm seeing the numbers are getting better when I upload less. I think that's algorithmic, YouTube. The less I produce or upload less often, the more those videos get pushed. And when I was putting out, like for weeks, I was doing 3 to 5 videos a day. I would see like barely any views or anything, and I think that's from YouTube. Once you upload a video, YouTube, what they believe, YouTube gives 24 hours of the golden opportunity of pushing it as much as possible to everything, anybody. But if you upload another one within that 24 hours, they drop that one off. The only one video, which they believe, no one knows for sure, but what they believe is the next one will have that golden day. So you just cut your other one by 18 hours, So I'm spacing them out to about 3 a week. Hopefully that's not a bad thing for you guys. Let me know in the comments or in the chat. But I'm focusing more on the quality now. I'm focusing more on the audio. I'm focusing more on the clarity, the color, you know, everything's filmed in cinematic flat. 3, it's very good. Good. And it's good for me too, because I was a little bit stressing out because I was doing about, like I said, 2 to 3 a day, which is pretty insane. But I'm doing it flat and then color correcting it all, making it look really good, high definition. Let's see, anything else? I'm looking at my plants, seeing if there's anything else. Oh, there's be 2 more. Hello there, Green Organic Love. Hi. 2 new videos for 2019. The guamuchil tree, that's another video I just made today. Like I said, I did 3 videos. I made another one today, and it's doing really well. It came out of dormancy. I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Green Organic Love? It came out of dormancy in July. That's insane. End of July, I think. The guamuchil or guamuchi, however else you pronounce it. But it's bright blue leaves. I don't know what happened with this variety, but I love it. It's about, I don't know, 6 feet tall right now. That's good to hear. Green. Lulu wants to come out now. She's knocking on the door. No flowers. Wamuchila. Wamuchila? Is that how you say it? Wamuchila. There's so many ways to say this thing. Oh, okay. I used to eat it as a child. The sweet one and the sour. The sour is tamarind, but we call it tamarandin. I didn't like it, the sour one. I don't know why people. I don't know why people like it so much, the sour one. But some people like sour stuff, you know. But the guamuchil, if nobody knows what it tastes like, the best way I can explain it, a nougat texture. When you heat it, it's better when it's heated. When you heat it, and especially if it's pink, not white, when you heat it, it'll taste like a little bit date and raisin. I'm new to your garden and new to gardening. What would be your best advice for a new gardener? And I'm going to tell you the first thing that I tell everyone that asks me that question. Then I'll say some other things. The first thing you need to do is you need to take pictures of the before, because you'll never get that back again. So wherever you put a garden, or whatever you're about to put a garden, wherever that is, take pictures. Take pictures with your family, take pictures of the soil, take pictures of what used to be there. If it used to be all weeds and wheelbarrow and everything that's all rusted up, take a picture of that, because you'll never get that back. Remembering how it started. That's number 1. Hey Lulu, want to say hi? Come here. Get. Yeah. Say hi, look. Take pictures of how it started. Next, if it has grass, mow it all the way down. Keep the grass clippings on it. Keep the grass clippings on it. Put the construction paper, you know, the one you can buy at a roll at a hardware store, a big thick roll of construction paper. Roll that on top. The seedlings died, I'm assuming, when you said felt so defeated. Grass clippings, lay it down, don't mulch it and throw it away. Wherever you cut the grass, lay it on the floor. Put the construction paper over it. Put, I would put blood meal, mycorrhiza powder if you could buy it, and wood chips. And let those break down. All of them died. Do you have hard pan, or the soil is hard? When you shovel it, is it easy to shovel, or is it hard to shovel? Everything gets corrected with wood chips. I have pictures of when I bought this house, of the MLS, the real estate website, how my backyard looked. I should upload those. It was a desert. Everything, you couldn't plant anything here. I killed 7 trees. Luckily that you have a 1-year guarantee if they die. I killed 7 trees. Even the way I garden now, That's the same way I was trying to garden back then, just I was being impatient. I didn't let the soil revive itself. I would put wood chips down and just put a nectarine or a fig. Even a fig, everyone died. The only thing that has survived, the Fuyu persimmon was one of the earliest. That died. The pomegranate is the only one that has survived. My first plant. A loquat died. An apple died. A pear died. It just died 1 month after another. The soil was so depleted and so horrible. It would take an hour to dig a hole because you'd have to put water in that hole, let that hole soak up a little bit of mud, scrape that mud out, and do it again over and over and over and over and over and over just to get a hole. It would take 1 hour, 40 minutes to an hour just to dig a hole for a tree. And then when I put the tree in there, even though I was a good gardener even then, I'm not thinking, I was impatient because I finally got a house, my first house. I just created a pot. You're in zone 9B, that's glory. So, and so am I, I'm in zone 9B as well. Are you in California? I just created a pot with that hard pan. So when I watered it, all that water was just sitting in there. All those trees were dying. You pulled up the tree, you would smell rot. That's how bad it would be. If only I could go back in time. Your pomegranate should be doing just fine though. I would, there goes Lulu. We train her to tap the door nice and gently. We're gonna train her with a bell to open the door for her. Pomegranate's gonna do fine. I always had a joke when people ask me these type of questions. What is a plant that I kill everything? Yes, California. Good. So you're zone 9B. You're either Bay Area or the Central Valley, outskirts like Hayward or something like that, Stockton or something like that. Not many 9B in California. It's just a valley and a little bit of the Bay Area. If you kill, here's the joke, what I always tell them. If you kill rosemary, mint, or a pomegranate, and they're like, yes, this is what you do. You get your gloves, and you get your shovel, you put them down, and you walk away. Because if you kill those, hello Melanie, if you kill those, welcome. I'm not trying to be mean, but if you kill those, you're not a gardener. I mean, I don't know of anybody that's killed mint. Southern, close to San Diego. Okay, and so you're southern inland then. So like kind of like San Marcos or something like that. That's regardless. But yeah, so that's great. So zone 9B, you can plant. Zone 9B is the perfect. Well, it depends. Zone 9B isn't just the perfect zone. It's everybody has the perfect zone because I want to grow honeyberries. I've had 3 years. I'm barely getting flowers. Haskap berries from Canada. I want to grow them here. Nope. I have sea berries. Had them for 5 years or 4. I can't really remember. Maybe I have it right here actually. I won't really look it up, take the time, but nothing. I don't even know if I don't even know if they flower, but sea buckthorn, sea berries. I'm glad for them though. Okay then. Yeah, San Marcos is a really nice little town there. I have a few friends over there. Do great with citrus, by the way. You'll do great with citrus. But if you have bad soil, citrus won't do that well. Hello, Four Horns Farm. That's awesome. Why is your screen name named that? I have 2 videos I'm going to be coming up with. I haven't filmed them yet. One's going to be best performers of 2019, and one of them is going to be the poorest, like the worst 5 plants of 2019. And I'm guaranteeing you, at least 3 of those plants are going to get uprooted. I am so tired of them. Waste of my time. And that's the other thing. If I made a video long ago and it's affected a lot of people, and I'm glad it did, where if there's something stressful in your garden, get rid of it. If there's a branch in your way, that's awesome. Well, hello to you and your family. If there's a branch in the way, get rid of it. If there's a plant that's giving you a problem and you're like, I just want to just see it grow, don't stress. I get asked a lot, what are my favorite plants to grow? The easy ones. That's it. I can't lie. Of course the delicious fruit and all this. Of course I would want, a honeyberry that's successful. I don't know what's up with the honeyberries. I heard they taste amazing. I've never tasted one and I want to. And now I have to stress over it? Is it worth it? It's not much bragging rights, not many people know about it. So whatever's stressful, for the one that asked about what to do in the beginning when you start gardening, don't plant things that are stressing you out. Plant things that like a pomegranate, like you mentioned. Plant things that you know are gonna make it. Fig, it's gonna make it. If you're in a cold area, Desert King is your answer. Desert King fig tree, that can go down to zone 6A, I think. So if you're in snow, Desert King, and that original fig tree was found 30 miles from my house. The original fig tree they keep pulling scions off of. Huge fig tree, the original Desert King. Don't know why it's here. Yes, some stress, get rid of it. It's not worth it. Love to add, don't go out and buy all the liquid fertilizer. I would buy every product and waited for new version releases. When I got into gardening, was super addicted. Drought proof if it never rains. Where do you live that you're worried about not enough rain? Just curious. Organic gardening and organic growing and organic life is the best way, is the only way. I follow the forest, 850 videos in, it's all about the forest. Backyard Gardener, hello. Nice to see you. It's all about the forest. Nothing else matters. Where's the best soil in the world? Sorry, I'm scrolling through the chat. Where's the best soil in the world? Well, unfortunately, right now, the rainforest, what's going on right now over there. But the forest. Rainforest, forest, still a forest. The forest is the best soil. And what's the soil made of? It's not made out of Miracle-Gro. It's not made out of layers of gypsum and all this stuff. It's made out of wood products, branches, leaves, needles, everything that falls on the floor for millennia, building up, breaking down, building up, breaking down, building up, breaking down. How is it in Florida right now? 9B, are you on the east coast of Florida? The Gulf of Mexico side? I hope you're not on the west, the west coast. Did I say east? I'm sorry. The west coast side, Gulf of Mexico. I hope you're not on the east. And if so, is everything okay out there? Before I got out of the Army, they sent me to Katrina, Louisiana, the hurricane. That was horrible. That was horrible. I can't imagine how this is. Oh, so you are on that side. But you guys are lucky. Bear with me, because I did go to the aftermath to help for 58 days or 45 days, whatever it was, when I was in the Army to Katrina. But you're lucky that I don't follow the news that much, because I think it's all negative, to be honest. But I saw the track was, here's Florida. I saw Durian was like this. It like barely touched Florida, like it didn't go in. So prayers with you, your family. It's not easy. Over 100-mile-per-hour wind is insane. And some parts of Washington get that regularly. Not many people report that. like ocean shores. But over 100 miles per hour, it was insane. So mimic the forest, like I said. And I saw the comment about, you know, following the trend. This is the new mycorrhiza bag, you know, $78 a bag. It's an updated version of our previous one. Look at the difference in the tomato size. You're the largest trees in the forest are pretty much close to us right here in California, but never got Miracle-Gro. They never got mycorrhiza powdered form. They never got sprayed. I foliar spray. I do that because my soil's still not at the level I want it to be. But you don't have to foliar spray. You don't have to foliar spray. Well, how are you going to foliar spray excuse me, I don't know how tall they really are, but let's say 1,000 feet. Who knows? These humongous trees that are like 40 people holding hands around to grab around the trunk, you know, you can't foliar spray that tree. But, you know, I'm reminded about the rainforest. There was an article I read a long time ago, I'm afraid I don't know the name of it, where they found out that sands of the Sahara Desert in Africa that are full of phosphorus, because the sands of the Sahara Desert, much like Central Valley, California, was ocean, adding mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is already in a wood chip. It's already there. It's already there. Now, it's good to add mycorrhiza in the beginning if you want to hurry things up. If you want to hurry things up, the one I mentioned about how to start a garden, if you want to buy a bag of mycorrhiza, go ahead. Don't spend $50, $60, $70, $120. Buy like 20 bucks or less. I have some in my storefront as well. I felt like in my body, I'm like, I don't want to put this in my storefront because I believe in the products. I don't believe in the price. It was like a $148 bag. I don't know if I added it or not, but I'm like, who would pay this much money? Once you add just a pinch of mycorrhiza, if it's even live, once you add a pinch of mycorrhiza in a wood chip pile, in about a month, it's everywhere. It's over. You don't have to add a huge bag. And then grab those wood chips, some of them, and throw it somewhere else in your yard, and they'll inoculate that corner. You know, that's what you do. They found out Sahara Desert, bottom of the ocean, or parts of it was, the sands would float through the air and land full of phosphorus, land on the rainforest. And that's where the rainforest got all its phosphorus from, or most of it. For many of us, we're going to go into fall soon, September 21st or 22nd. Remember that the forest never stops fertilizing. Okay? The forest is always hungry. So if you're trying to mimic a forest garden, which I have been for the past 6 years now, or 2012, 7 years. 7 years I've been trying to mimic a forest floor. There's some parts of my garden I barely even have to water. I've proven that many times in this channel and on Instagram with my watering bill to show how much water I'm actually using compared to the average household in my area, where they just have lawns and laundry and sink and showers. That's it. But a lot of people use a lot of water in lawns, by the way. But you gotta mimic the forest floor. The forest is a living entity. It's amazing. Any other questions? Let me think more about the forest. What was I going to say? Oh, the forest is always fertilizing. So when people right now are saying in the books, and I love when I say in the books, I always have a comment or I have an email saying, you know, that's not right. You shouldn't go against the book. It's the 23rd. Okay. It's the 23rd of September. So when I say you don't follow the books, you follow nature, and they're like, no, that's not right. Okay, fine. Nature's been doing it right for, well, as best they could be, for however long nature's been doing it. We've been doing it this long, and we think we could do it better. I could do it better. If I had Miracle-Gro, I will get a better tree than nature could. Yeah, right. Follow nature. Love depending where you are. Oh, depending where you are. Easy plants from my peas and broad beans. Yep, these are so easy. And if they die, they're natural fertilizers. Oh, if you're trying to get caught up on my videos, you better have a big cup of coffee, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot. And unfortunately, no, I'm still here for a little bit. I hope you got my response right. Brenda, you got my response to your comment online? Yes, the forest is self-sustaining. And it's always fertilizing, okay? You can say, no, it's not, okay? There's tons of worms in the forest floor, okay? They're going through the forest, and through the channels they make, they have worm castings. So it's creating an easy flow work for the roots to go through and grow through it, and it's lined with worm castings. Bears always have to eat. I know those sleep in the winter, but bears always have to eat. So they're eating fish. They're defecating that highly phosphorus fish bones and all this other stuff, and decomposed guts if they're not eating it in the forest floor. There's wolves that have to eat in the winter. There's bunnies that are year-round rabbits in the forest that are defecating all over the place. You know, I mean, it sounds kind of funny, that's all, but really, I mean, it's about the wood chips breaking down by microorganisms and stuff like that, defecation by animals and probably humans out there, urine, high nitrogen, and not the entrails, but like fish guts and stuff like that. All that's being fertilized all the time in the forest. Forest never stops fertilizing. So the books will tell you, stop fertilizing now. We're in the fall. We need our trees to calm down. The soil is alive. The soil is not dormant, everyone. The soil is still alive. There's still earthworms waiting to eat. The earthworms aren't going to go to sleep for the winter. You know, the earthworms are hungry. The bacteria is hungry. When you look at the sales of marketing for gardening, you'll see that let me see my charger. Still got one more. You'll see that the sales come around when? For us in the Northern Hemisphere, March. And for Southern Hemisphere, I'm assuming early September, late August. You'll start getting letters in the mail or promos. Buy Miracle-Gro, organic fertilizer, buy one, get one, all this stuff. There's no ad like that in the fall or winter, but in the fall and winter is when you're supposed to be fertilizing. When I fertilize the ground, I don't really fertilize in the spring and summer, not that much. If I do, it's coffee. I just did about 10 pounds of coffee in the backyard yesterday. When I fertilize, it's in the fall and winter. Why did they call it a fall, everyone? Why did they call it a fall? The leaves fall to the ground, and what are they going to do? They're going to go to sleep for the winter? No, that's the food for the soil organisms. They have videotape or recording on YouTube of earthworms at night going up. It was amazing. Going up, grabbing leaves with their mouth part and pulling the whole leaf into the hole. I've never seen something like that before. Okay, you have to feed them. The fall is the falling of leaves to help keep the soil alive, because there's less activity. There's less defecation from animals. There's less urine. There's less feeding. You know, it's all snow. Even if there's defecation, the animal poop will be up here. It's never going to get to the soil. So the leaves fall, the soil packs on top of that, and all these leaves and wood chips and everything that's there under the snow is so the soil can build up. So when spring comes up, it's ready to go. But companies don't want to know that. They can't make money on the fall and winter because you're not going to buy a plant in the fall. Who's going to buy? I'm going to go out and buy basil. I'm going to buy a tomato plant in the fall. No one's going to do that. No one. You know, maybe you buy. I guess no one would. Even me as an avid gardener, a big gardener. Right now I have over 220 different plants that are all edible. All different from around the world. And I still wouldn't buy a plant in the fall and winter. Maybe. Okay? So, for a business standpoint, why would we promote soil additives, fertilizers in fall and winter when we can't, when that Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever hardware store you may have, Walmart, we can't say, hey, buy this fertilizer, get this plant for free. No one's going to buy that plant. Asparagus and potatoes, you can plant it anytime you want. Anytime. And I've proven that in many of my videos. But are you Northern Hemisphere, Brenda? I think so. I think you're in California, actually. Correct? Sorry, I have so many subscribers I have to keep up with. I think you're in California. So I would plant potatoes right now. Right now. Same principles also. Yes, Bill Mollison. You know, thank you for plant asparagus anytime. By the way, asparagus or potatoes, it doesn't matter. They go underground. They go underground. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to show a video here coming soon. My third time around, I'm going to prove once again, and I get emails, hate mail, comments saying it can't be done. You're lying. You took an older video and put it in this new setting. All these type of allegations against me. I'm going to get a whole nother season of asparagus come October. A whole month of asparagus again. I get about 5 to 6 months of harvesting of asparagus instead of the average person getting 1 to 2 months. I'm getting 5. Okay, that was a lot of comments. One moment, let me swipe. I watched Back to Eden. Yes. After I came here with Back to Eden, sorry for the shaking. After I came here, I finally, about a year after I started YouTubing, I finally saw Back to Eden. And I gotta admit, I almost cried. Probably because I'm trying to man up or whatever, but I almost cried. And the reason why, he doesn't share my principles. I share his. I think Paul is one of the top 3 gardeners in the world. Top 3. The reason I say top 3 is because Bill, I think, is number 1. And I want to respect that. But Paul is like maybe second place gardener in the world. And why I almost cried is when I watched the whole film, and then I started watching, I think it's That to Love. This gentleman that follows Paul and goes to his tours and stuff and videotapes him a lot. Paul mentioned he's also, like myself, a disabled veteran. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe. Maybe that's what it is. When I've had friends, like I mentioned, disabled veteran, what I am, and gardening saved my life, saved my career, saved my brand, saved my mind. And the book that I'm writing is gonna show that, or I'm gonna let everything loose in that book. But when I heard that he was a vet, I just really got taken away by that. It's amazing. And everything I used to talk to in the tours I had from my house, of colleagues, friends, and just not complete strangers, but a little bit of I don't want complete strangers in my house, if you understand. I would say the same things as Paul says in his meeting, and I just couldn't believe it. It's like, am I Paul from another universe? I don't know. You know, not sound egotistical here. I just couldn't believe it. But maybe it's not surprising. Should be the same answers because the forest is the same everywhere. I follow the forest. Whatever the forest does, that's what I want to do. And that's what everybody should be doing. You have a problem? How does the forest take care of it? Hey Moses, do you have a compost tumbler? Does the forest tumble compost? Maybe some Wolverine digs in a hole, but there's no compost tumbler. And the reason why we need compost tumblers, because you're putting, when you need a compost tumbler to spin your compost, okay? That means you put so much raw, hot material together, which doesn't happen naturally in nature, that if you do not mix it up, it could be, I mean, it won't set on fire, but it could. It will get so freaking hot in there that everything will be killed, or it won't even, it will just rot. Well, if it's rotting, it's telling you something. Instead of doing that, lay the compost, dig a trench in your backyard, and sprinkle the compost, like your kitchen scraps, in the garden. Let nature take care of that problem for you. Instead of you tumbling away and tumbling and tumbling, it doesn't make any sense. You know, food comes naturally. We've been walking these lands for a long time. Food is everywhere. We didn't have to farm. Okay, we just farmed probably because we got tired of, we domesticated probably a cow or something. We're like, oh, this is a lot easier than hunting, which I don't blame them. But we got to remember that things that are marketed to us are for them to make money. And they'll cite publications. They won't cite nature. They'll cite, well, look at our tests. You know, they won't say, you know, I would love to go in the middle of Yosemite. Yosemite's close to me. And just go in the middle of Yosemite and get a tomato plant in spring and just plant it. And let's see what happens. Or just even a seed, just a tomato. Just drop a tomato there and let's come back to that same location and watch the biggest tomatoes you've ever seen in your life with the soil they have in Yosemite. I don't know. It's funny. People are funny. You could tell them that there's a billion stars in the sky and they would look up and say, oh yeah, I believe that. But if you tell them to sit on this bench or don't sit on this bench, the paint is still wet, they'll have to touch the bench to make sure it's wet paint or not. But they believed you when you said there's a billion stars in the sky, when they can't touch that. People are funny. Food's getting scarce and scarce, everyone. Okay, one moment. Okay, wait, I dropped my juicing compost and it was disappeared so quick. Can you elaborate on that, Green Organic Love? Any other questions, everyone? Like I said, please let me know if you like the direction the videos are going. There's gonna be more B-roll, not every video. I did a Cadota Fig today. It had music in the background, but I strategically put the music in high and low. So it's not like a mid-range all the way through, it's annoying sound. But instead of just the AC in the background or some dog barking, you hear nice music that kind of went with the video. But let me know if you like to see those kind of things. I'm not getting bored. I am getting bored. I'm not getting burnt out. Like I said, after 850 videos, I need that fire again, and I found it. Okay, awesome, Backyard Gardener. Now I gotta admit, like, if you don't know, my first 500 videos aren't as good as my last 200 videos. So, but the video quality, the audio horrible, so forth. But the value was, in my opinion, I gave everything I could, everything free, everything. Even my family members, and they're not. I don't know if they're watching right now. I saw one, but I don't think another one's watching. That told me. One of my family members, close family members, said, Moses, why are you telling everyone? I've been gardening for 30 years, so that I can remember when I was a little girl. I'm on. When my sister was a little girl and I was a little boy when I was a little girl. That's all right, you got a telemarketer call. Everybody still there? Chime in if you are. I got a telemarketer call. I had to hang up. Whatever. When my sister's a little girl and I was a little boy, my grandmother used to teach us when we were 3, and she was like a baby. She doesn't remember, but I do. So I've been gardening that long, and they're like, why are you telling everybody your secrets? You can write a book or make like YouTube and create like a whole company out of this, of how you're doing things you're doing. Like, literally, everyone, there's no ego to this. I'm just gonna say it because I've already recorded it. People would tell me, you can't do this. It can't happen. Stop it. 80-year-old men, 75-year-old women, been gardening all their lives. And gardening, really good gardeners. Bye, Brenda. And I would plant it, and they're like, how in the heck did you do that? I would have neighbors, because my front yard is so lush and so green, even during the drought, I would get complaints from the neighbors, and or they would call the city on me because they think I'm overwatering when there's a drought. But when the city looked at it and they said, no, he's using less water than the person complaining about me is, now those mad neighbors are now coming to me saying, okay, Moses, how are you doing this? How do you have such a lush green lawn? And I have my best video, or excuse me, my most watched video is how my secrets to a lush lawn. It's like green angel's hair, basically. And it's seaweed, fish emulsion, and wood chips. Finely grade wood chips. That's all I do. That's it. And I talked about that for, I think it was 10 minutes in that video. That's it. And recently I had someone call me a liar on that video, and they would say, I never seen grass like this before in my life. You're lying. So if you've never seen grass like this, and this happened in person as well, not just online. If you've never seen grass like this before in your life, that means that this person must be doing something very different. So just follow nature. Nature, you could say, oh, there's no fish or seaweed in nature. There is. When the animals eat the seaweed, or when the animals drag up the seaweed, or when the animals eat a fish and defecate in the soil. There is fish and seaweed in the soil. I guess not in forests. There's no seaweed in the forest, but seaweed's so... The reason why I use seaweed, it doesn't smell as bad as fish. Fish stinks. Yes, she was right. People want to know how you got to your success. Yep. And I'm always learning. That's what I love about, and that's why I produce so many films, is because I always see something new today. Like I said, I already did 3 today. So yeah, once again, I'll chime in. Any questions? I'm not trying to say it's the end of the video or whatever, just I'm still seeing 8, 9, 10, 11 people. So there's a little crowd, so I'm gonna stick around for a little bit more. I haven't done a live for a long time. Any questions? I'll wait about 10 seconds for a question, then I'll continue. What is your guys' favorite plant to grow? Specific, not like a stone fruit or citrus. What's your favorite plant to grow? And don't say an easy one like I did. Don't cheat. I'm having issues with making time. I'm having issues with making time for the work of gardening. Okay. Perfect answer for you in a moment here. One moment. Depending, do you have a very big garden? If you have a very big garden, that's a little different answer I have to give you. Or insight, excuse me. While I'm waiting for another question, I think that was Four Horns. Was that Four Horns? Yes, Four Horns Farm. The reason I said about how big your garden could be is because when you said farm, I'm thinking a big garden, which could be tough. After working so long on this soil that I have, and I've worked on any backyard or front yard I've ever had, my family's or my grandmother's or my aunt's, I've progressed in learning on how to grow soil. Not grow a garden, but grow soil. that I am so bored right now with gardening. I am looking for weeds to pull up. When you get to the point of building your soil so well, your garden doesn't need you at all. We had probably 20 100-degree plus days in the summer, and for the month of July, I watered 4 times. Pretty much 15 to 20 days of 100 plus degrees. One day was 112, and I didn't water the day before, the day of, or the day after. Things that are in pots, different story. That's not connected to the planet. I think it's big. That's 2 pigs. That's awesome. 2 pigs. Full-time job. Yeah, that's a lot. I had a full-time job. It was so hard. It was so hard. Well, you come home and you're like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I have to do this. And you said raised beds. I'm assuming you're watering a lot because of those raised beds. They get dry every other day, the raised beds. Okra, the reason why I've tried to grow okra, and I've grown sesame seed successfully, which is a cousin of okra, if you didn't know that. For my Zaatar, I make my own Zaatar mixes. That's what my side business is. I make a Mediterranean mix, spice mix called Zaatar, my channel. It's usually oregano, thyme, marjoram, but it's a plant that has all in one that's from Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan. It's called Syrian oregano. I don't like saying oregano because there's no ray in oregano. But anyways, sumac, which is a sour berry, which is growing right over here, and sesame seeds and salt. The way to grow sesame seeds successfully, I found out, is to soak them in water. Like I said, okra's the same type of seeds. Soaking them in water for 24 hours before I plant them. And success rate went way high when I soaked them in water. But the raised bed, Four Horns Farm, if you have a lot of raised beds, I'm assuming you're watering a lot. Oh, your timer, well, that's easy. Well, that's a lot of raised beds. That's a lot of raised beds. 4 times. 4 times. Oh, watering 4 times in the month? Is that what you meant for the hot summer month of July? I'm in Central California, Zone 9B. Let's see. But to reaffirm, when I was working full time, Shant, my son, manly duties, household and all this stuff, outside work, going on the roof, all this other stuff. Not saying that women can't do it, by the way. I shouldn't have said manly. But all that kind of stuff, all that changed when I started really implementing what I've learned in those 20 plus years of gardening, just mimicking the forest floor, which doesn't have a raised bed, by the way. But I understand why you do a raised bed. I had one for 2 years, and it was horrible. So much watering. I got rid of it. Everything went away when I started mimicking nature. Really layering tons and tons. Like it was with the tree service truck, but if you had to buy bags of it, I would say, those 2 cubic bags you can buy at the hardware store, I would say about 150 of those bags. Like 3 pallets of wood chips. Imagine, in an average sized garden. I would say it's 2,000 square feet or less. 3 pallets of wood chips. Can you imagine? And now in some areas, it's this much wood chips left in some areas. And when you dig, you could dig by your hand now. It's not even hard pan or clay. You could dig by your hand. It's just all soft, squishy, black soil. Underneath my avocados, which I did a video about earlier, Underneath my avocados, those are still half a foot deep, but those started out as 18-inch deep of wood chips. Only way I was successful with avocado is with heavy wood chip mulching. And spread coffee. Go to your local coffee store and say, do you have any garbage? Even the filters, it doesn't matter. Everything breaks down. Ask about their garbage, their coffee grounds, used coffee grounds. But I didn't hear you say four horns. I didn't hear you say you quit. You said, I have these 2 hands, blah, blah, blah. It's just taken a while to get it all done. Exactly. You didn't say you're quitting, because it will get done. Every day, little by little by little by little. When I pull weeds, because I do occasionally get weeds where I didn't put a lot of wood chips. When I do pull weeds, I pull only sectors, like sections. I don't pull the whole row, because those weeds will be there for me later on. Yes, never quit. Especially with perennials. Annuals, I'm getting tired of. I'm not quitting them, but I'm getting tired of annuals. Maybe cilantro and that's it. I like perennials. It's easy. But the weeds will be there for you tomorrow. So pull what you can. You only have one back, and you have 1,000,000 weeds, I'm assuming. The odds are against you. Thankfully, we pick up free wood chips. Oh, hi, Sarah. We've gotten 4 full truckloads. I did notice an increase in roly-polies and pincher bugs. Okay, now, I used to have a lot of roly-polies. I still have a little bit of pincher bugs or earwigs. I think that's their name. Barely have them anymore. You're like, how? Moses, you don't have the answers for everything. Hello, Sarah. You don't have the answers for everything. No, I don't. If I did, I would be very bored. I would hate to know everything. No, Sarah's been here quite some time. How I got rid of earwigs? I couldn't believe. I made a video about it. For anybody who's trying to binge watch they said they're going to binge watch my videos this weekend. Look up coffee deters insects, something like that. I made some kind of cool thumbnail about it. I got about a 25 or 30 pound bag or 27 pound bag of coffee grounds from Starbucks, free. You just use coffee grounds, not the unused, or when I'm using them in the garden. Don't use unused coffee grounds in the garden, by the way. So I got tired of getting the shovel and shaking it on the floor, so I said, oh, if they're coffee grounds, I'll throw them in the air and I'll wash off the grounds, off the leaves, off the peaches and stuff. They're fruit. My trees are full of peaches, full of nectarines. Everything was full blown, 100% going forward. Okay, so I would throw a whole bunch of coffee grounds throughout my whole garden. Okay, coffee grounds through my whole garden, and I would talking about my donut peach. I screwed up. Okay, I feel better now. I work the section at a time. That's all you need to do. You only have one back. I should have done better at thinning my donut peach. And I don't know why I did it. I don't know why. But here's the branch. Okay, here's a branch. Okay, I let a peach, donut peaches are flat peaches. Saturn peach. I let one peach here and another one right here. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I can get 2 peaches in one little area. Well, I didn't think that there's holes and stuff in the middle. It was everyone. And I mean, I'm talking about 50 to 70 snails. Okay, snails, I have an answer as well for that. Roly-polies are they're a little bit tough. But earwigs now, I left there are little holes in that Saturn peach like this, and earwigs were just full. I mean, 50 to 100 peaches like this ruined. I threw coffee grounds. Everything was gone. All earwigs were gone. I couldn't even find them in the fence. Nothing. they hated coffee grounds. I never knew it. Then I researched it online, and people were saying on forums and stuff, you have problems with earwigs or things like that, throw coffee grounds. That's awesome, but I love it when I find out things by myself. Like my avocado, couldn't get it fertilizing. That's when my YouTube channel really took off. I found out that, bees love rosemary. I started putting rosemary twigs in my avocado trees, and the bees flocked to the avocado flowers after I put rosemary branches in the trees. So if you have earwig problems after wood chips, throw coffee grounds in the wood chips. They're gone. They're gone. It's gone. I mean, you might find them somewhere else in the garden, but just keep throwing coffee grounds. They hate it. They hate it. All right, let's see, more comments. Have you ever planted and been so excited and then the next day everything disappeared? Like, you mean like little seedlings that got eaten away by snails? Like I've experienced many, many, many times. Okay, so I have a few videos about, anybody been watching again, about snails. I actually have snails everywhere. Someone commented saying, you have pet snails? That's amazing. And I never thought of it that way. I don't kill snails. They're eating my plants right now. They only eat the dying, sick plants or dying dry leaves. I have a video, and I've gotten mixed reviews on comments. Some great, some like, oh, dude, you're weird, about parsley plants, where the parsley plants are in my raised bed, when I had a raised bed. The parsley leaves were perfect, but the edges were eaten. I showed the one to the left. The edges were all yellow leaves, hasn't been eaten yet, but the snail was hiding in the cinder block, saying, most of you would just spread salt to kill the snail or smash the snail or spread snail bait. Well, this snail right now, when I zoomed in, ate all the yellow leaves that I couldn't eat, but the snail trimmed it for me. The snails are our pruners. If the snails are attacking a plant, they're telling you something. The plant is. The plant's saying, hey, everybody, why does one plant get eaten? This is where it came about. Why does one plant get eaten? Why does, these are plants, by the way. Why does one plant get eaten and not the other? I know all of you seen it, where one plant is just aphid galore, snails underneath the leaves, everything, and the other plant is just fine producing flowers and fruit. And what do we do as humans? What do we do? Not kill the plant, because we took time to grow this. Kill everything that's trying to destroy this plant. Nature's telling us something's wrong with this plant. Oh, rabbits. Oy. Oh, yes, you said garlic. That's actually something I was going to mention. One moment. Rabbits would not go past, yes. But if you have a problem with termites, moles, maybe roly-polies, grasshoppers, caterpillars, plant garlic and or onions throughout plants that you don't want to be eaten. Like my longevity spinach behind me. It's planted with garlic and onions. No bites, barely any bites from bugs. But the Okinawa spinach on this side has bites, but I didn't plant any. Hey, Talal. With the tomatoes, a little bit tough. I don't know what's with tomatoes and caterpillars. I mean, maybe they could be a sick plant. Like I was saying, nature is telling you I'm dying, I'm sick, I want these bugs to take me out. But tomatoes are weird. Tomatoes are weird. If you got an indeterminate tomato, if you remember the variety, Talal, if you got an indeterminate tomato, don't worry. It's gonna grow like crazy. You're gonna wish you had some bugs to chew back the tomato vine. You'll get a cherry tomato that can grow 10, 12 feet tall. You know, the bugs are doing you a favor. But if you have like a determinate, like a Roma tomato, that only produces once a year. You don't want too many bugs around that. Now, what you can do, you just get a cup of water and soap. The soap is not to kill the bug. It's to lower the tension of, like this soap. I love this soap. This is the soap I use when I foliar feed, or if I use if I'm trying to remove a big infestation. Normally I would just remove the plant because this plant's telling me it wants to die, but I will remove the bugs first because I don't want to pull the plant up and all the bugs drop and they go to another plant. Just get a cup. I don't have a cup here. Just get a cup with soap, and then go to the ends of the leaves where you see tomato plants, on your tomato leaves, where you see caterpillars, and just knock on the leaf. The caterpillars will fall, hit the soap on the top, which breaks the tension of the surface of the water, and they'll fall to the bottom of the cup, swarm around, and die. And do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over forever. Because we can't really beat caterpillars. I don't know. That's life. You know, that's life. That's how we get butterflies. You know, they're going to be around. It's a shame. But like I said, if you have an indeterminate plant, I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you have a determinate and you know it's a determinate plant, tomato, get rid of them because they're going to ruin everything. Any other questions, everyone? If you guys haven't noticed, I really do live in my garden. If I could sleep out here, I would. If I could sleep out here, I would. That's why I loved the Army when I was in the Army. I used to sleep on the ground. They're like, Moses, why aren't you sleeping on the tank or the Humvee? I just live being connected to the earth. I don't know what it is. It centers me. I don't know what it is. Here's a question for everyone. Do you guys like using gloves while working in the soil, or do you do barehanded when you're digging in the soil? That's an interesting question. Maybe I should put that in the community forum on YouTube. Anybody new here? Have you liked my new videos? Barehanded, okay, good. That's good. Are you liking the new way I'm doing videos, or is there something different you'd like to see? Or ooh, yeah, Florida mosquitoes. Yeah. Oh, speaking of weird mosquito heaven, I was actually we have that Zika, the Egypti. I do both. I don't know what type is. Okay, thank you. No problem. Just remember, Talal, soap and water. Because if you don't put soap, what's going to happen is the caterpillar's going to swim on top, go to the edge of the cup, and try to get out. You have to put just a couple of drops of soap, liquid soap, in that cup of water. And that's all. You'll be done. I was on the news for the stuff I used to do to get rid of mosquitoes in my garden. I have that on the channel too. Like, just search Zaatar Gardens mosquito, and you'll see one of them. Mosquito news. Something like that, and there'll be a link to show. You can watch the video when I was on the video when they filmed me about like 4 years now. I've been doing, yeah. Oh my God, that was September 11th today. Last year, they used me because I'm a disabled vet. They propagated it that way, promoted it that way. Disabled veteran saves the community again, kind of thing. On September 11th, they filmed it last year. Today was when I was on the news for getting rid of mosquitoes for like 3-4 years. Every 5 days I go through the whole neighborhood, sweep out all the water and everything like that. That was 1 year ago today. I'm so full. So happy I tuned in. So much beneficial info. Thank you. No problem. You're welcome. Okay, cherry tomatoes, Talal, they're gonna be growing like crazy. Velvet ants. No, I do not. I actually, and I'm going to be very candid with you right now. I was really close here because I'm reading in. I have issues with ants as well. I'm going to be honest with you. I have so many issues with ants going in my house, ants in my soil, ants going up and down all my trees. Tanglefoot, nothing. Putting coffee grounds, they don't like it. No ants do, but they just walk around it. Or if it gets washed off. I'm not going to spray poison. Hi, TJ. Yeah, it is getting kind of late, TJ. But it's okay, I'm still here. Oh, that's my wife saying Nancy G. Sean saying good night, Daddy. Oh, he's waving hi. Good night. I guess he was watching me on live, even though he could watch me outside in person. Or whatever. Yeah. I really wish I can give you a better answer with ants, but I have the same problem with ants, with the aphids they bring, the scale, the mealybugs, everything. I don't see any benefit to ant in the garden. I don't. They can say, oh, Moses, they create tunnels in the ground to aerate the soil. So do worms. And worms don't bite me or sting me or cause aphid issues. You know, I don't know. I don't like ants. And I'm sorry I don't have an answer for that. Doesn't mean I'm going to research for an answer. Yes, borax, but God, I've tried that too. Yeah, we only have black ants here as well. Outskirts, we have red ants, though. Not fire ants, but red ants, mealybugs. Yeah, they are the most alien-looking bugs. But rubbing alcohol kills them. Rubbing alcohol kills them. I don't know, TJ. Like he says, ants suck. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. If anybody knows, chime in, please, because I'm getting tired of it, too. Pepper and baking soda. I don't know. It's so ridiculous. Sorry, I'm just dozing out because I can't handle it anymore. Like, I'll walk away from my... Oh, Louisiana. Yeah, you have fire ants. Like I was mentioning, I was... Let me swipe up. Comment. I was in Katrina for the hurricane when I was in the Army to help with the relief. What was it? Hurricane Katrina relief? I forgot what they called it. Gulf Coast relief? Something. Anyways, the fire ants are wicked. Wicked. They attack the corn because they put the aphids inside the corn kernels to get all that sweet, sweet, sweet corn nectar. The kernel nectar. That's what they're in. That's why they're there. Oh, and someone said snails. Okay, before I forget, I have a video on snails. I don't kill them because they help me know what the problem in my garden is. But if you want snails away from certain plants, okay, all you have to do, and I have a video on it, how to deter snails in the garden. Put pine needles around the plants you don't want them to crawl around. You know, and I'm assuming when we were kids, if you were playing in the forest floor a lot, boiling water, or if you've watched YouTube videos of molten metal, they do fire ant colony art. But put pine needles around your plants. You ever poked yourself with a pine needle by accident? It hurts really bad. Even if you just barely puncture your skin, it'll burn. Imagine the soft belly of a snail crawling over that. Just put pine needles around your plants you don't want snails on. They're gone. It's over. They can't. Or put the. Oh, I don't know. There was an old man that used to talk to me. He used to the old pennies. And I have a video on it, by the way, so it's explained more in the video about the snail and the pine needles. How to deter snails in the garden, I think. But include my name because I may get lost in the search. He used to shave pretty much like this. Would shave, yeah, the colony ant are pretty. They are. That's it, the molten aluminum. He would shave pennies. Old pennies, you know, before I think it was 1968. I don't remember the exact year, where they switched to a little bit of nickel in the middle of them. Before that, they were pure copper. He would shave pennies around his plants, which would help with copper deficiencies, but also snails hate walking over copper. So when they'd walk over these pennies, but there were shavings of pennies, when they walk over pennies, it would burn them. I don't know exactly what happens with copper and snails, but it reacts to them very horribly. My newly purchased apple dandy will sit still in a pot. I accidentally let it dry out and it lost all its leaves. It's flowering right now. Take those flowers off. because it's not going to produce a crop. Is it have leaves or is it just flowering? I would take the flowers off. I know how you feel. You're like, oh, maybe I could do it. Maybe I could do it. Because they're going to go off the sun. Unless you have your own greenhouse with light, with 5,000K or 6,500K light color. Because they're going to go off. My sapote, I was talking about my sapote leaves right now, leaves and flowers. Just, TJ, from one gardener to another, take the flowers off. If you take the flowers off, it's going to grow a lot healthier right now. Right now it's stressing because it's trying to produce, because it doesn't know what the heck happened. It thinks it's going to die again, so it's trying to produce flowers, to produce seeds, to give offspring before it dies. I would remove the flowers. The sapotes are doing amazingly well. Subel is doing fine. Vernon has about 6 fruit on it. I've already did a video about the Vernon today. One of the 3 videos I did today on it. Who was that? Sarah? Was that Sarah? Yes. Do you have any sapote, Sarah? Sorry to not give you a better answer, TJ, but I would remove the flowers ASAP. For anybody out there, if you have a fruit tree, a stone fruit tree that's under 2 years old, in all honesty, take the flowers off. Take the flowers off. You're just stressing the tree out. You really are. Trust me. I wanted to keep those flowers on, and I still took them off. I still took them off. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to. It was my apple, one of my apple tree. I really wanted apples. I really wanted them, but it was only 2 years old in the ground. Took them off. Took them off. And because of that, the tree grew, I think, like 6-7 feet that year. Oh, okay. All right, 4 orange. And stay safe. I hope everything's going to go well with Florida right now. And the Bahamas. And God almighty, 92 minutes in. Jesus. All right, I should have got a cup of water or something. Let's see. Another question. Oh, you have 6 fruit on your Vernon too? Okay, Subel. If anybody's considering sapote, what we're talking about is a custard fruit, sweet, semi-tropical, can go established under 32 degrees. Good night. Can go under 32 degrees, but it's not advised to do that when it's first year or 2. So cover it in the first year at least. Very expensive fruit if you could find it. And if you do, get ready for a bland fruit because it was refrigerated, which makes it not taste good. At $4 to $6 each, sapote, $4 to $6 each. It's extremely juicy, extremely sweet. Pear texture, custardy texture. And the Subel is the best one. Subel tastes like, which I have, tastes like banana custard. It tastes like pear, custard, and banana all put together. Vernon is just really, really, really sweet. One of my 20 Zaatar plants was flowering and I took the flowers off and is growing vegetation now. Good. That's good. If you don't want more seeds, take the flowers off. There's no point of flowers. The only thing good about flowers, Talal, for anybody growing herbs or Zaatar plants, is the flowers are the most potent of all. So if you were trying to make Zaatar, like I have a company making Zaatar, my side company, the city gave me a permit to produce Zaatar from my house. If I want to make extremely potent Zaatar or a herb mix, it's an herb mix, spice mix, you use the flowers of the Zaatar plants or any plant. Think about it, whoever grows marjoram or thyme or oregano, and you see those weird flower pods and you squeeze them and smell, they are a lot stronger than the leaves. Bees love my oregano flowers. I don't see the... Oh yeah, they love that's maybe that's something interesting. Putting oregano plants in the avocado trees, not just rosemary. Maybe I'll do that next year, TJ. Good night. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, I guess it is getting kind of late, guys. Any other questions? I'm not getting tired. I could talk about this all day. But any other questions? I don't want to keep people up just because I'm up. My miniature grapefruit had grapefruit I didn't even know about. Should I cut them? Nope. Keep it. You know why? Because you can find out especially with citrus, what your soil is missing through the taste of the fruit, especially with citrus. If it's sour, like let's say it's an orange, let's say it's not a grapefruit. Okay, you say grapefruit. If it's not, because grapefruit has a little bit of bitterness. If it's not bitter, because grapefruit has a little bit of bitterness, naturally. If it's not, what are you doing, Lulu? Lulu, get over here. Oh, she was trying to eat a bug. If the grapefruit's not bitter, that means you're watering too much. You wouldn't have known that until you tasted the fruit. If the grapefruit's too sweet, you're putting too much. I think it's nitrogen. If it's too sweet, so forth and so forth. You could look it up online. They did testing on it. Those are the papers I kind of believe in. But you always want to taste with citrus. You want to taste because you don't know. Like let's say my lime tree. When I first pulled from it, I thought, oh, it's amazing. I'm loving it. I cut them open. They're dry inside. If I had removed the lime trees, if I had removed the lime fruit or the limes off the tree, I would have never known they were dry inside, which means they weren't getting enough water, or there was a hard frost, which there wasn't a hard frost. I didn't know I didn't water it enough until I looked at the fruit. Because you really can't tell a lot of problems with citrus until you taste the fruit or look at the fruit, because it has that hard shell, the skin. Like with apricot, you could tell right away they're thin-skinned. Pluots, pears, plums, apples. You could tell deficiencies within the fruit. Citrus, you can't so much until you cut it open. I don't like growing citrus, by the way. I don't like it. I have a kumquat that I love. I have a grapefruit. I have orange. I have a lemon. I have a tangerine. I have a clementine. I have lime, and so forth. I do have, but citrus is so tough to grow. And they're in my opinion, scale and mealybug and aphid magnets. Citrus. God almighty. Any other questions? I'm just what you're seeing here is me petting Lulu. Lulu was trying to eat a bug. I don't like when she does that. Here, let's say hi, Lulu, again. Come on. Look at the camera. This is my garden dog. You have a tangerine that tastes like lemon, so I'm assuming it's too sour. It's too sour though? Could be the variety. If it's too sour, I'm saying. You're saying tastes like lemon, could mean it's too sour, which I'm assuming. If so, it's not enough water. Probably not enough water. Green Organic Love. Any other questions, everyone? Who's starting seeds? I have my parsleys that the parsleys that I have a video of, that the leaves, the seeds that I've been saving for like 6-7 years now, the ones that get as big as my hand, like the leaf, the parsley leaf, like that's this big. If you guys remember the video or the picture on Instagram, if you're following. My 3-year key lime I grew from seed is a big magnet. Yeah, and you're talking about the magnet of insects. It's ridiculous. I mean, with the aphids and the mealybugs and the... I don't like citrus, guys and gals. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I almost think like it's not natural. They say the first citrus is from China, or the area of China way back when. And it was the citron, the Buddha hand. Every citrus after that was a hybridization of that Buddha hand. So maybe it's not natural, you know, it's not natural. Maybe the bugs are telling us, hey, these trees aren't natural. They're not supposed to be growing, you know? I don't know. It's a big mess. It's hard to not use, and I don't use, but it's hard not to use chemical pesticides with these citrus. I can see why farmers do it. With citrus, I can see why they do it. I can see why they don't do organic methods if they have to spray. I can see why. Awesome. I'm Armenian. We use lemon for everything. Lemon. We even have lemon for breakfast. Let's see. But I love lime too. Oh, you saw Lulu. All citrus healthy. Yada yada yada. Okay, anybody else? Any other questions? So I guess I don't even know what time it is. All I know is I'm 101 minutes in. And oh, like I said, there's things I mentioned in a previous live that I did unlisted like an idiot. I talked to myself for 22 minutes saying, how come no one's coming? And, you know, I guess my subscribers don't really want to watch me or live or whatever. So I did 22-minute talk to myself on certain key things about me, how I feel about this channel, what I think about it, what I want to do in the future, and so forth and so forth. You can watch that. It went live, I guess 125 minutes ago. Or no, about 100 minutes ago, because I started this right away. So you can watch that if you'd like. Can I trade some fig cuttings for some parsley seeds? So, okay, now with the parsley seed thing, I didn't talk about this in my last one. And I know you didn't mention giveaway, but I have 3 fig trees in my property. In other properties of family members that want figs, like my fig trees, or me grafting to figs, like I have like some figs that are like 6 figs in one, different varieties. I have about maybe 15 fig trees, but 3 in this property. 1, 2, 3, yes. A Villette de Bordeaux, Celestial, and a Cadota. Cadota is my favorite. I think it's better than Peter's honey. What's one fruit tree that you're not growing but wish you could? Mango. So, TJ, you have 37 varieties of figs? Now I said, I'll reaffirm again, I have 220 different plants. That's not fruit trees, with different plants that are all edible. Lulu's hitting the door. She wants to go out. I mean, in. I don't want to deal with it right now. She's in and out with her. So with a giveaway, I'm afraid if I do a giveaway. Wow, TJ, great, that's awesome. You're Greek, TJ? Because the last name sounds Greek. And I have family members in Greece. Oh, okay, Greek. Well, that kind of explains why you love figs so much. But which I don't blame you. But wow, 37 figs. And how easy of a plant, you know, to grow figs. I live in an area in the Central Valley called Fig Garden. This used to be an ancient fig orchard, not farm. It used to be just wild figs here. The original Desert King was found here. Desert King fig, the one that goes to snow, like zone 6A. So if you're in a snowy area, Desert King fig will go all the way up to North Washington. Can go all the way up to North Washington. Desert King fig. I think it goes down to like, I think the negatives. I think. Yes, there is a lot of mosquitoes. There is a lot of mosquitoes. Yep, unfortunately. But I take care of them every day. I try to. I have my zapping racket and I just zap them in the air. I go through all my leaves, shake the leaves, and I just hit them all every day. So with the giveaway again, why I have never done a giveaway doesn't mean I'm not going to. It's just I'm afraid that's going to change my channel drastically in a direction that I don't want to go. I've asked Masilla, Learn to Grow. She does a lot of giveaways. And a few other YouTubers, fellow YouTubers, on a personal level. And they all say it's a good thing, but they all agree on one thing. Well, they didn't tell me, I asked. People will only subscribe and only will watch when there's a giveaway. And I want to build a community of avid gardeners that want to mimic the forest, that want to have food for their children, that want to grow for their children, that want to grow for their family and friends. And I don't want someone just to subscribe to me so they could put a little comment saying, I'm here, yay, or whatever, nice comment. They don't win, and next thing you know, they unsubscribe until the next giveaway. And I don't think that's a good thing. Now with trading for seeds, yeah, I'm not that against it. So let me know, TJ. I think my website, it's an old website, but it's still a website. It has a contact page, it has my email address. I wonder if I could type my email address here. No? How do I type? Oh well. So my email address is zaatargardens@gmail.com. Just my channel name, zaatargardens@gmail.com. Because there's a lot, like I gave Masilla a lot of stuff. I gave my Zaatar seeds, a whole bunch of varieties, my parsley leaves. I grew for like 7 years now. Green beans, I keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. They're like 1.5 feet now of green beans. I gave her all those seeds for her channel. So she'll probably grow them this spring or right now. But a lot of people have asked me more. You'd think they asked about the Zaatar seeds, which I get a lot of from around the world. Because I have seeds that many people can't even find in the wild anymore. And it was passed down to me. Many plants. I have, I think 12 out of the 15 different varieties of Zaatar in the world, and 3 of them can only be found in like mountain ranges. I have to fly there to get them, and then I have to hide it in my mouth or in my sock or something through customs. Hand watering, Sarah. I don't like irrigation. I live in Fresno, California. Oh, sorry, you're asking backyard gardener. So, but like I said, I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about with the giveaway. And I don't think, wow, 25 varieties of figs. Wow, everybody loves figs. That's awesome. You have 25 varieties of figs in Michigan? Backyard gardener? Yes, like Fresno is the best place for figs. It is. Almonds and other things too. But like I said, I live in an area called Fig Garden Village. That should tell you how much figs do well here. You can't kill a fig here. Unless you, I don't know, if it dies naturally. Backyard gardener, that is extremely interesting that you have created a microclimate in Michigan for figs. That's insane. That many figs. That could be a YouTube, just that alone could be a YouTube channel by itself. Just that alone. Because there's people in Massachusetts that never even tasted a fig in their life. Massachusetts. And they would love to know how to grow figs. You could have like 40,000 people subscribe to you in 1 second if you just do videos like. Any other question, guys? But like I said, reaffirming about the giveaway. I was this close to doing one. This close to doing Zaatar seeds and parsley, my large leaf, the big one. The big one I keep saving, and I gave to Julian from Assyrian Dishes, the YouTube channel, when she was here from, they came from Toronto, and she visited the garden and did a video. I gave her some, and they're doing extremely well in Toronto. But I talked to her about doing giveaways, and she does giveaways, so. You cooked with figs and with ground beef. That's amazing. That's amazing. How would that work? I guess it would melt. Do you guys eat your figs with skin on or no skin? Like you're eating the inside of it? Okay. All right, TJ, so you understand. But I don't mind trading. Then I graft. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put it in the ground, I'm gonna graft it. Even though figs root really well, just graft it. It's easy. Okay, skin on everything, but you still open the fig, right? They're in pots because I have to overwinter. Okay, understandable. But still, even if you have them in pots, it's amazing that you could even grow them there. Especially that, so I forgot what they call it, where there's a variety of fig that produces twice a year. I forgot what they call it. It starts with a B, I think, the word. They produce twice a year. The Valet de Bordeaux is like that in the Cadota. But you must be growing those because the second set of figs takes a long summer to set that fruit. So you're getting the smaller plant. That's it. That I don't even know how to say it, but that's the word, I think. You must be having those type of variety, which Desert King is. Do you grow Desert King? Skin on. And it melts. Lots of garlic, figs, and ground beef, and it melts, I'm assuming. Man, fig is like nature's jelly donut, isn't it? I don't know why more people don't eat it. You know why people don't eat it? And I get that a lot of comments, a lot. Like, how can you eat something that has a dead bug in it? Like, you know how that some have to get pollinated? And I go, do you like eating sliced bread? Because there's an allowable amount of dead insects or rat hair or mouse hair allowed in each slice of bread that you eat by the government. We got to stop living in a prissy world. Things aren't always nice and cozy. San Pedro. I never heard of that before. Boy, I love Desert King. What's gross? The bread? Okay, so if you didn't know about the bread, do your research, you'll see. They're allowed to have a certain amount of bug legs or insect legs or rat hair allowed in them. They're allowed because it's uncontrollable. They're in the wheat. They're in the seeds. They're in it's allowed. It's allowed by who's the one that checks those things? I forgot. Not USDA, not FDA. Somebody checks them, but it's allowed a certain amount. Let's see. My kids say figs are like pop rocks. Oh, because they pop? That's funny. Nature's pop rocks. God, your kids are very creative, Sarah. You need to nurture that, which I'm assuming you are anyways. But if you aren't, nurture it more because that's extremely creative mindset. They're in pots, yada yada. I don't know what they are, but the first came quick. The second took forever. Yes, okay, yeah. That's the one that the TJ was mentioning, where the first set comes quick and the second set takes a long summer to produce. And those produce if you guys watched the Cadota fig video I just did, where I have like a Cadota fig like that big, that's the second set. The first set here in Fresno, where figs grow everywhere like weeds, The first set, what you guys like, if you guys like fig Newtons, or you guys like to buy dried figs at the store, dried figs in like gift baskets, that's that first set. The first set is used for those reasons. Fig Newtons and the dried. You know, ever notice you never see a big dried fig? It's always little ones. That's the first set. I don't eat the first set because there's not much in there. I let it compost. Any other questions, guys? God, 10's still here. That's amazing. Smith is your favorite. Interesting. So we're talking about figs. Like I said again, Cadota is my absolute favorite. Cadota is the jelly donut of the forest. People say Peter Honey is better. I tasted both, and I have a very, it's subjective, I know, but I have a very like picky palate. So I have a pee-pee mouth. Peter's Honey is nothing compared to, I think that the name makes you think it's going to taste really good. Nothing compared to Cadota. Nothing. And I like green figs. I don't like purple figs. I have 2 purple figs. I don't like them that much. Just I think they're pretty. I'm still going to eat them. Don't worry about that. I'm still going to eat it. So I'll go till 120. What is that, 2 hours? Jeez. It's a good thing I had a battery pack. So if you guys don't know, say, oh, this is just an aftermarket, but that's the reason why I could do this. If it wasn't for this, this would be a lot shorter live because the battery would have died by now. So I'll go for another 3 minutes. So lay in your questions. Your passion fruit shade looks awesome. Yeah, right here, huh? It blocked it all. It blocked everything. Isn't that amazing? It blocked everything. All that heat, all that sun. You're very welcome for the videos. I'm glad to do them. It makes me so happy sharing what I know. Good night. And I'm going to be going, like I said, at 120. So two more minutes and 10 seconds. No passion fruit yet, but it takes 2 to 3 years from the ground. Do you agree with the practice to grow grass first, then? I agree with growing, which I have done. When I find clover, like natural weeds, clover especially, when I see clover, that's the location I'm gonna grow my brassicas. So my purple tree collards that are still here today, 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. Still doing fine, still producing year round. Oh, hi Wayne. Good night. Still producing year round. That's where I plant. When I find clover, that's where I plant brassicas. Not necessarily grass. Clover is my key to know exactly where the most brassicas want nitrogen. Clover produces nitrogen, which I believe so. I'm getting kind of tired. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. It's a nitrogen fixer, but clover is not just there and that's it. It stays underground or it drops seeds. Either one. It's herbaceous or it drops seeds. So it's been building that part of the soil, that part of that garden for hopefully years, and that's where the brassica is going to love it the most. So I believe, yes, I believe in what you're saying, but with clover, not with grass. Only grass. Okay, everybody. It's about 120 now. I mean, the 120 minutes. It was great. I should be doing more of these lives. I really should. I think the videos sometimes help more instead of just a live. It was nice talking to all of you. Happy gardening, everybody. And I'll just wait a little bit more to see if anybody's typing by so I can say bye back. And in about 10 seconds, I'll cut the video. Yes, Sarah, thank you. And you have lovely children, by the way. Have a good one, TJ. Bye, everybody.